Hey guys, William here with Patriot Containers. As what my YouTube channel has turned into is of exposing all the dark side of the cargo container industry and how these companies rip you guys off. The newest and greatest tool to investigate who's trying to sell you something or who you possibly want to buy from is to type in the company name on Google, type in the word complaints, and then click on AI mode. It'll tell you everything bad about these companies, and you should read it. If you don't care, you're gonna learn the hard way. So my advice is, if you're looking for a cargo container from anybody, go on Google, type in the business name, then type in the word complaints and click on AI mode. AI mode's gonna gather all the internet information about these companies. These companies are con artist liars that are ripping you guys off and then setting you into a trap that once you place an order, you cannot get out of their whatever they plan on doing because they're idiots or intentionally. These companies take forever to deliver and have 10 different lies waiting to tell you. They're your best friends when they take your order, but after that, they're gone and they're no longer available to talk, and they'll make you email any type of concerns, and they won't talk to you anymore. These companies that I'm warning you of sell junk to you guys. They don't tell you though, they deliver it. The way they get away with this is if you cancel your order, you're gonna have a cancellation fee. If you reject their container on delivery, they keep your delivery money, a restocking fee, and a cancellation fee. If they tell you that you can return your container in 30 to 90 days and you can get a full refund, that's a blatant lie. On their website is a thing called terms and conditions. You as a buyer, it's rare for people to click on that and read it. You really should, because everything that I'm saying is actually on their websites. So if you think you're going to get 100% full refund if they have to come back and get your container, you're in for a rude awakening. You're going to lose your delivery money twice, and then a restocking fee and a cancellation fee. So sometimes that amount of money, depending on how much you paid, could result in losing 75% or 100% of your money. These types of companies need to be exposed, and that's what my YouTube channel is dedicated to. I used to work for companies that were similar like this 13 years ago. I hated it so much I started a business. What Patriot Containers does is tell people the truth. I don't purchase bad containers. I purchase good used ones and good new ones. And my containers arrive on the right day that you actually expected it. It's not really that hard to do this correctly. I just make more, I make less money because I'm not selling with lies. The reason these companies get so big is because they're lying to those customers. I've heard what these companies tell you guys on the phone. I hear from customers that have talked to these container companies, and I'm amazed at what these companies are telling you that's false, flat out lying, or just inaccurate idiots that don't know what they're talking about. Their sole job is to close you for a commission and to put you into that trap that you can't get out of. These companies will sell you the cheapest piece of junk and then tell you it won't have any rust or any dents. A good container has rust and dents. A new container does not have rust and dents. So when they're trying to sell you the cheapest product that's junk, but they're telling you it's going to be a new one, you're going to be the most furious customer when they finally deliver you your container. And there's nothing you can do to get out of it. The whole point of my YouTube channel now. But I frequent AI mode on these container companies because it's constantly changing. These companies constantly get complaints. AI is always changing. And it's not getting better for these companies. It's actually getting worse. So if you guys as buyers actually go on Google, type in the business name, type in the word complaints, and click on AI mode, it's going to tell you all the information that you need to know about these companies. I was just doing that this morning, And I came across something on Google AI mode that, and this is not talking about a specific company. This is AI mode telling you with what you should watch out for. So the first one is pricing and deals. Unrealistically low prices. The most obvious red flag is a price significantly below the market average. If a deal seems too good to be true, it's very likely a scam. High pressure sales tactics. The seller that insists you to buy today, act now, secure a limited time, creating a false sense of urgency to rush your decision. These companies are going to lie to you so much that they're going to make you make an emotional purchase to where you feel this company is your best friend. You're so secure, and they're your worst enemy that's going to rip you off. Hidden costs. The initial quote may seem low, but the seller is vague about extra charges like delivery fees, taxes, documentation costs, which later add up. These are all sales techniques. You could quote somebody low to get them reeled in, and when they're already made up their mind and they're ready to buy, then these companies hit you with all this extra stuff, but you already said yes, and now you're like, okay, whatever. But they didn't tell you the truth in the beginning, which is probably a warning sign, is they don't plan on doing anything right later. Transparency and communication. Refusal of person inspection. The seller provides excuses for why you cannot visit their physical location or inspect the actual container you'll receive before purchase. Stock photos or vague images. The listing uses generic stock photos or images ripped off from other websites rather than recent detailed photos of their specific unit being sold. A reputable dealer will provide multiple photos of the interior, exterior, roof, and door seals. I made a video over this weekend that I find is kind of funny. When us container sellers market our business, we market with pictures of new ones and we market with pictures of good used ones. Nobody is going to put on their ads a rusty piece of junk. They don't want you to see that because you don't want it, and you won't call because of that picture. What's hilarious though, they'll put a picture of a good used one or a new one and then deliver you that rusty piece of junk. So it's amazing that they don't want to sell with that container, but that's what they plan on delivering you. Lack of knowledge. This is most customers that are buying containers. It's always a first-time purchase, and that first-time purchaser may only buy one container for the rest of their life, and they're not a knowledgeable customer. I truly believe that when customers are looking for containers, you really don't even know with what you're asking for. I've been doing this for 13 years. I purchased 15 to 20,000 containers from shipping lines, depots. I have 13 years of cargo container experience of purchasing, selling, scheduling, and in 11 years of me being in business for myself, not one complaint, not one. So, lack of knowledge. You know, you have customers that have lack of knowledge, but nowadays you have, I don't want to get sexist, but you have people sitting at home selling containers, making commissions on their laptops while they're babysitting. Okay. These people are complete idiots, and they have no idea of what they're selling. They have no idea when your container is going to get there, and they have no idea of what the company is actually that they work for is actually going to purchase for you. Their job is to sound like experts, like professionals, and they're total idiots. I've called them, and they are dumb people. So lack of knowledge. So not only does the customer sometimes have lack of knowledge because they don't know and they're being lied to. And then you have sellers, commission-based salespeople that don't have knowledge of containers. They're total idiots. The seller cannot answer basic questions about the container. Specifications Condition grades, cargo worthy when watertight dimensions, plate details. The reason why these sellers don't know your delivery date is because they're not the ones scheduling it. So they're being told to tell you 7 to 10 days, but then they take 1 to 3 months to deliver your container, knowing that if you cancel, you're going to get a cancellation fee. They don't know with what container you're really going to get. It's just the way this industry is. It's always been like that. Poor and inconsistent contact information. The business lacks a verified physical address, uses generic emails, or has no working phone number. Phone numbers may not match the company's online presence. This is a big one that I'm about to read. Only communicates via email or text. I've been selling containers for 13 years. I've owned my own business for 11. Before COVID, everybody talked on the phone. Everybody communicated through the phone. You guys have sellers that want to sell you something through a text message or email. You can't, when somebody's trying to sell you something through written words, they can't describe and get to the point. You're going to make a purchase based off of a price. Now, if you purchase a container based off of who gives you the lowest price, you're going to buy the crappiest container that from the most desperate seller that's going to rip you off. Always communicate. Payment methods. Demands untraceable payment. This is how you get scammed. There's two types of scams. There's companies that are 100% scams where they give you an unbelievably low price and then they demand that you pay by Zelle or whatever we're going to read here in a second, and then they keep your money and then you'll never talk to them again and you can't get your money back because you gave it away, but there's no way of getting it back. Don't do that. Always use credit card. The other types of scams are companies that, and this is something I truly believe, if you guys as customers end up buying from these crappy companies, pay by credit card. Who cares if they pay if you pay 3%? I honestly think that once you pay by Zelle, check, ACH, wire transfer to these companies, they automatically know they get to keep your money. So they're going to purchase you the biggest piece of junk. I don't know that for a fact, but I do read a lot of complaints on these companies. And I see the containers that these companies deliver to you guys, and come to find out, it's like all these people that paid by Zelle or wire transfer, they're going to charge you 3% to use your card, but at least you can get your money back. But they do have terms and conditions that says that they can keep your money. But they'll give you a little discount if you pay by Zelle. Well, you want that discount, but I honestly truly believe that once you pay in that type of method, you're like sealing your fate on them purchasing you a crappy container because there's nothing you can do about it. The seller insists on payment through unconventional methods like Zelle, Venmo, gift cards, cryptocurrency, or wire transfers, which are difficult to reverse or trace. Legitimate businesses typically accept traditional methods like credit cards, checks, and standard bank transfers, which is true. But if you send a company a check or a bank transfer, you can't get your money back. The only way to protect your money is by credit card or debit card. That's what the little Visa, Bank of America, or what the heck, Discover or Amex, that little symbol protects you guys. What doesn't protect you is the terms and conditions on these companies. They don't have to disclose their terms and conditions. It just has to be on their website. Well, their terms and conditions on their website is designed to basically every failure that the company does to you as a customer, they don't have to be accountable. You end up paying for it. So because they can't do their job correctly, you're the one that pays for their mistakes. It's wrong. I started a business to do the exact opposite of this. Requires full payment up front. They demand the entire payment before the container has been delivered and you have verified its condition. A lot of situations there that you can go over. I don't demand full payment before delivery. You can pay my driver some cash. payment is always negotiable. I don't demand. I've had customers that ask, hey, can I pay by Zelle? I'm like, you can, but I'm not asking you to. I think the scams do that. So, online presence. Suspicious website. This is probably where we get into actual real scams. Scams are two types of scams. Scams, they keep your money, you don't get anything. And then scamming companies where they sold you something with lies and they trap you, and then you're stuck with their crappy container that they deliver someday. And when you're not happy, they run away from you as a customer when they ran to you to take an order. But this part is probably talking about real scams. Suspicious website and an online presence. The website is poorly made, has numerous spelling, grammar errors, or lack of substantive content beyond sales pitches. They have no customer reviews or only suspicious, unverified testimonials. Bogus documentation. They may provide fake invoices, forged ownership papers, or container numbers that do not check out when verified with official sources. The whole point of my videos now is there's scams out there that are going to steal your money and you're not going to get anything. My YouTube channel is dedicated to exposing all these crooked companies out there that are ripping you guys off. Sorry to say this, but I believe it's 90% of cargo container companies are going to sell you something with a lie, many lies, and not do a single thing that they promised you just to get you into that trap. Once you're in that trap, that salesperson made a commission. The company has made a profit. If you cancel your order, they're going to keep $350 to $500 per container, or 25% of whatever you paid. That's just after you place an order. They haven't done anything, and they're entitled to keep money for something that they haven't even done yet. That's disgusting. But if you were sold a really nice container by a slick salesperson and they show up with a rusty piece of junk with or without holes, and you refuse that container, they're going to keep your delivery money, a restocking fee, and your cancellation fee. That amount of money can add up depending on how much your delivery is. These drivers that work for these companies, they don't work for the company. The drivers work for themselves, okay? They must be paid or they're not going to deliver containers for these companies. So, but the newest lie, and again, one of the biggest lies that these companies tell you is a lifetime warranty or a 25-year warranty. I don't believe anybody honors warranties. It's a scam to make you make an emotional purchase. But the newest lie is if you don't like your container, you can get a full refund. Well, if you call them 30, 60, 90 days later, you ain't getting a full refund. It says this on their website. They're just not telling you about it. They need to get you stuck into the trap. If they have to come back and get the container, like I said in the beginning of this video, they're going to keep your delivery money twice, and a restocking fee, and a cancellation fee. So you could lose up to 100% of your money, and then they don't have to bring you out another container. They don't. It literally says that on their terms and conditions. So anyways, guys, more Google AI mode information that I came across about studying these horrible companies. But watch out. I had a bad phone call this morning from a lady that just mean and aggressive. And then she goes, well, I already found a container. And it's like, 90% you went with the wrong company and you made an emotional purchase and they got you. You're screwed. And she didn't know that she was talking to one of the most honest guys in this container industry that was going to deliver on the right day and then actually show up with a good used container or a good new one, depending on which one she bought. And it's just that I don't know, some of these people, you try to help them and they don't want help. That's the way it goes now. But anyways, guys, that's the whole purpose of my YouTube channel. Have a good one. It's Monday the 3rd. Have a great one. Bye.